Hello everybody, this is Gretchen Hidell and welcome to This Week in Astrology. I am a professional astrologer, life coach, Reiki master, hypnotist, and so much more. And I am talking about this week in October 26, 2020, all the way until the beginning of November on November 1st. Welcome if you're just joining me live tonight. And we, as usual, have a lot to go over. There's a lot of astrological energy coming, though this week comparatively to some other weeks seems a little maybe less, but it is still busy. For 2020, all throughout the fall, going into early winter is going to be like this. It's going to be very, very busy and jam-packed full of stuff. So welcome if you're just joining. Please go ahead and type below whether you're watching this on Facebook, on the live version or on the pre-recorded version on Facebook, or if you are tuning into my YouTube channel at Gretchen Hidell, please hit the like button because that helps me with algorithm and all kinds of good stuff. Share with your friends, tag a friend, forward the video to your friend because a lot of people need to hear this information. So go ahead and post your astrological sign because you know I love hearing everybody that's kind of joining. So welcome Gail, Pisces Sun, Leo Moon, Gemini Rising, Corbin, hello, Scorpio, Sarah, Aquarius, Colette and Astrology Friends, she said hello, welcome. Marianne, hello, welcome. I love it when everybody kind of joins. And so we have a lot of kind of energy coming this week, like I said, and I'm just going to dive right in. So let's talk, just before we go into this week coming, let's talk just a little bit about last week, because last week was kind of crazy. I don't know if any of you felt that. And I was talking about how, remember, Venus was kind of highlighting those 3 planets in Capricorn. So Venus was forming a positive trine, you know, with Jupiter, with Pluto, and then with Saturn, all in Capricorn. And I don't know if you guys felt that or not. I was talking about how in classical astrology, trines are positive and everything's wonderful, but yet those 3 planets that Venus was kind of working with and kind of kicking around, those were planets that were not so fun. So I was wondering how everybody did last week with the Venus highlighting all of those, the big 3 in Capricorn. I thought it was kind of intense. Gail said, yeah, very intense last week. Teresa, Taurus Sun, yay! Excited for the full moon. Yes, and I'm going to be talking about the full moon coming. It's actually a blue moon going to be coming this week. So anyway, we're getting through. It's basically what's happening, and I almost feel kind of spoiled right now as an astrologer because everything's just happening in Capricorn. And so if it's a problem, a situation, some kind of a thing, it's most likely it's a Capricorn sort of planet that's being highlighted. So it's kind of interesting because usually in history this is not the case. The planets are all in different signs and then you're kind of having to put together the puzzle pieces, where right now everything's kind of clustered in one department. Now one department creates intensity. One, like when you have, it's almost like having a laser beam of energy in like one area. And so when that happens, that means there's a lot more sort of intensity and stuff that's going on. Corbin said, I didn't kill anybody that I can remember, so that is good, yes. And people are asking about updates in my family, and I'd love to talk about that as well. I don't know if my mom can join right now because she is in a very unstable internet connection, but my family is, safe in Colorado, and we're going to be talking about that big fire and all kinds of stuff. So what's happening right now, tomorrow, in fact, our 2 planets are actually going to be going into the astrological sign of Libra. Now, Libra and Capricorn don't really kind of get along. We have seen that during Libra season. So when the sun was kind of forming all of these squares with the planets in Capricorn, squares, by the way, are like, think of squaring off. Okay, that's not usually a positive association. And then Mercury was when Mercury was in Libra, it was squaring off. And then Mercury went into Scorpio, and it's been in Scorpio for a little while. But unfortunately, it's that retrograde season, Mercury retrograde. So Mercury is going backward, and now it's going back into Libra. So Scorpio and Capricorn, they got along pretty well. And so Mercury's been okay lately. But now sort of okay. I mean, we'll just say that. But once it backs up into Libra, then we're forming a contentious pattern again with those planets in Capricorn. So, and even Mars has been doing this. So remember, all of the players that are involved are cardinal signs. Who's the leader? Who's the boss? Cardinal, the cardinal. Cardinal signs are the bosses of the zodiac, and cardinal signs are Aries, Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn. Now, Cancer, there's no planets right now in Cancer, but all the planets in Capricorn are opposing Cancer. And so those Cancer folks that are on here tonight and whatever, we're all feeling that. Yeah, we're all feeling it anyway. So like, even if you're, let's say, a Virgo, or let's say, in some other sign, if you have any planets in cardinal signs, you're going to be definitely feeling it, or you'll be feeling it, sort of secondarily. But we're all kind of feeling, because this all of this planetary stuff is a lot. It's like big energy, so it's kind of almost like hard to avoid. So yeah, last week a couple people said it was intense. With my family, yeah, intense. Very intense stuff. So, that's kind of what's been going on. So once we get into Libra, remember during Libra season, I was talking about how Libra wants to get along. Libra's life lesson is all about relationships, partnerships, getting along, mediation, fairness, beauty, okay, and love. And so Venus going into the sign of Libra is, that's our love department. So Venus going into the sign of love is like love on love, which is good. Now, Mercury is a little complex, and I'm going to talk to you about the pattern of Mercury in a second, but let's talk about Venus, because Venus is kind of more straightforward. So tomorrow night, 9:41 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, October 27th, Venus is going to be going into the relationship sign until 11:21, so almost a month. And 11:21, by the way, is the day that Sagittarius season starts. So there's going to be a lot going on November 21st. So, okay, balance, fairness, mediation, beauty. Now, if you think of Libra is the scales, and that's like our justice system, right? Well, we have a few things going on in that department, don't we, right now? And so there's a lot going on politically. There's a lot going on astrologically, as above, so below, and that is basically where the melding and the combining of these energies happens. So we will be able, hey Hans, how you doing? Gretchen said hi. So we will be able to have a sort of connecting with Libra energy, which is nice because, we need to have some balance, some fairness, some mediation, some beauty. The only thing is Libra can be a little fickle. So we got to watch that. And Libras have a really hard time sometimes making decisions. So sometimes our decision-making process could be a little off. But we really want to be all about partners right now. We're kind of like, we're going to be like sort of seeking out to have relationships, seeking out to have that connection. And it's kind of hard during all of this COVID time to be able to do that because literally, we're like, if you're single, it's hard. Like, how do you connect and all that? And even if you're in a love relationship, it's just been a little hard because you might have been like sort of on top of your partner or your spouse a little too much during this COVID time. A lot of people are working from home and doing all kinds of things. And sometimes it's a little bit too much of a good thing, And so how do you make sure that you kind of are able to connect with that Libra energy? Now, Libra is one of the air signs. So if you're also an air sign too, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, you might be feeling the winds of Libra, sort of blowing through and kind of reinvigorating your wind. And sometimes that gives you back a little bit of wind in your sails a little bit. So that can be fun. I mean, all of that Libra energy can be fun. The problem is if we get into endless debating with people and, we can get into endless bickering and endless, kind of like, Libra likes to kind of have debates, even though it's the planet of like balance and fairness and beauty. Oh my, I know a lot of Libras that will, sort of counter their counterpoint, you know. It's like, I like chocolate, no, I like vanilla, and they'll kind of like go back and forth. They can really switch sides a lot. And so that's a Libra that's a little bit out of their own sort of power, out of their own balance. You know, every sign has like a sort of positive expression and then a shadow trait. So that is Libra's shadow trait, is to kind of like flip-flop back and forth. Remember, it's the scales. We're striving for balance during Libra season. It doesn't mean we're actually getting it. And it's almost like we're having a little return of Libra season with all these planets going into Libra tomorrow. So when I say all these planets, I also am talking about Mercury. Now, Mercury has a little bit more of a complicated journey here, because in September, Mercury already went through Libra. Okay, so Mercury went through Libra, then it went into Scorpio, then it went retrograde in Scorpio, which means it backs up, okay, all the way back to the beginning of Scorpio. Then it goes back into Libra for just a little bit. So between tomorrow, 10/27, all the way through 11/10, we're going to have a little resurgence of what it was like at the very tail end there of Mercury in Libra. And so if you remember what was going on for you back in September, you will have another resurgence of that thing. That's why Mercury retrograde, when we talk about Mercury retrograde, it's like, I always say it's like scrub-a-dub-dubbing an area, because we're getting a repeat and then a repeat and then a repeat, so that like we're kind of hashing out whatever these dates are. And you might think it's a little, oh God, that's a little complicated to think of all these dates. Well, if you're a person that kind of has a good memory, or keeps a journal or a diary or some sort of like way of kind of knowing, or you just remember in your mind like, oh, well, that was when, you know, this and this happened, you know, or it was like at the end of September. Well, that's when Mercury was in Libra. So we're having another resurgence of that time. So think in your mind what you were doing at that time. We're going to have a little resurgence of it. Then it's going to go, finally on November 3rd, it'll go forward, it'll go direct. So it's going to go back through Libra and then back all the way through Scorpio again. That's why that's how Mercury retrograde works. It kind of goes back and then it goes forward, and we're like sort of getting like this recurrence and rehashing and redoing of these different things that will be able to get a deep dive into that sector of your chart. So it's the Scorpio Libra sector of your chart. So whatever is going on with you in Scorpio Libra, that's basically what's going to be happening. Obviously helpful to know what house that is in, or what area of your chart that's in. Or if you don't know that, just think in your head, September. See, astrology really is like it's like telling time. It's like a clock, okay? So basically that's what the deal is with all this. Now, speaking of that, so tomorrow it goes into Libra. We're going to start that process just until November 10th. But on next Sunday, so on the 1st, November 1st, on Sunday, unfortunately what's going to happen is Mercury is going to form a square with Saturn, and then form another square with Saturn in the same week, and that's next week. So on Sunday, Mercury is going to form a square with Saturn, and then on the 6th, which is Friday, so Sunday and Friday, Mercury is going to form another square with Saturn. Now that already happened again at the end of September. So Mercury square with Saturn, what does that mean? Well, that's like a stopping of communication, or a problem with communication. That's definitely like problems with Mercury through and through. So it's one of those things, like you talk about computers crashing, cell phones going on the fritz, problems with transportation and travel can be literally a problem with your car. And then when you add the element of Libra and Capricorn, because Saturn's in Capricorn, Mercury's in Libra, now we're going to be talking about who's in charge of the relationship. And definitely Libra, you're always thinking about partnerships and relationships. So there could be a problem with that. So unfortunately, it's not going to be a fun time for communication when we go back to Libra, because Libra and Capricorn are not getting along that great, unfortunately. Now, we were talking a little bit, people are asking me what's going on with the fires in Colorado. So I want to talk about my family, and also kind of talk to you about what's going on in the astrology of it. I've been thinking about like kind of, what's been going on with all this. So unfortunately, Colorado is facing one of its largest droughts that it's had in a long time. And the East Troublesome Fire, which is the name of the fire that my family was involved in, is the second largest fire in Colorado history. And there's actually several other fires going on. And 3 out of all the fires that are going on are the top worst fires ever in Colorado history. And all 3 of them happened in 2020. So this is, again, history in the making with all of this kind of stuff going on. Now, there's 5 members of my family that all live in the same house. So there's like my mom and my brother, my sister-in-law, and my niece and nephew, and they all live in the same structure, though, there's like an in-law suite and stuff. So when the fires came, so first of all, I'm sick and tired of hearing people say, how does these things happen if you're such a great psychic? Or I hear people say stuff like that all the time about things. Like I actually saw some posts being posted of like, if like, for example, with what happened with COVID, like how did none of the psychics see this? And I was like, well, we did see it. I saw it. I talked about it. I talked about how there was going to be financial problems and the government might, have this big collapse and like all this problems going on in the world and whatever. Well, my mother and I actually talked about having an evacuation plan, and we started talking about it 2 weeks before the fire even was really a thing. I was sensing that there was fire energy around my family, and I said, I want you to pack an overnight bag. I want you to get get your refill of your medicines and all of this kind of stuff. They have a lot of kitty cats. My family does a lot of rescue of animals, and they all together have 6 cats in the house. And they didn't have carriers for all of them and whatever. So I've talked a lot with my mom about preparedness, and like I said, why don't you just pack your car and like keep some stuff out there? So my mom did that. She like stocked up on water and snacks and like all kinds of non-perishable things. So are you ever really prepared fully for this type of thing? No, but my mom actually was a little bit, because I was talking to her about doing this, and the night before they had to evacuate, I sat her down point blank and I called her and I said, here's the deal. You're going and you got to get ready. And so, cause I did the cards, on my family, and I was getting the Tower card. So I knew it was not going to be good. Tower card in the Tarot deck, is basically natural disasters. So anyway, so all this happened. So why am I talking about this? So 5 members of my family, I pulled up their astrological charts just to kind of see what's going on. 3 out of the 5 people in that house all have the big 3 that I keep talking about in Capricorn in their area of home and family. So Jupiter, Saturn, okay, Saturn is, your hardcore life lesson, karma, hard thing you have to get over and get through and whatever. And then Pluto, which is death and destruction. And I actually tell people often, if they come to me, as a personal consultation, astrology reading, if I see Pluto transiting their 4th house of home and family, I will usually tell them, make sure you get homeowners insurance or renter's insurance or something, because I always use the analogy that Pluto's like a forest fire and it burns everything to the ground. It's Phoenix rising, right? So it like burns everything down and then comes up. So but I can't tell you how many times I've literally said to people, Pluto's in your 4th house and it's like a forest fire and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, wait, what did you say? Because my house just burnt down. And so Pluto transiting the 4th house of home and family. So if you're roughly like a Virgo or Libra rising, you might even have that right now in your chart, just to let you know. Again, you'd have to know what your chart looks like, but that's basically the thing. So 3 out of the 5 people that are in that house have the planets are currently transiting that area. And so when I talk to you guys about this stuff, and I talk to you guys about home and family, and I talked to you about what is, what area of the chart is it in, and how could this affect you, and all those things. That's just how it's working out for my family. Now, I did tell them I felt like it was going to be a temporary evacuation, and that they would be allowed back. Now, knocking on wood, okay, but they're saying possibly they might be able to return home in 3 to 4 days. What's happened is they had gotten a big snowfall, thank God, and all you guys have tons of prayers and wonderful things that you guys have sent to energy to that area. It's awesome that you guys are like angels, and so but there's still hot spots in like going on in the neighborhood, and the fire came as close as a third of a mile away from my family's house. So it went really right up to almost the neighborhood. In fact, on that side of the highway, that their house in that area was really one of the few that was spared. The little neighborhood that they live in. So, but with all this Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, and Pallas Athena, so really it's 4 planets in Capricorn, in 3 out of the 5 members of my family's charts, there's obviously going to be a big event in the area of home and family. And so luckily there's been all kinds of wonderful miracles, because again, you guys have been wonderful. You guys sent like a barrage of healing, beautiful prayers. Archangel Michael, I've been asking for all kinds of help and prayers. They went into town, and the stores and businesses have been so nice, and they're like giving away supplies free to the evacuees, and they got one of the few units through the Red Cross that actually had a little loft area, because otherwise all 5 of them would have to share one room in the place that the Red Cross was putting people up in. So my family did get one with like a loft, so my mom had her own different space, which is cool. And so like there's just been a lot of blessings. Oh, here's the other cool thing. So fortunately or unfortunately, it's like fire and ice. So right now what's happened is there's all this fire, but now there's all this snow, and the temperature is 0 degrees Celsius, okay, if you're watching from another country. And so what happened was the plumbers that volunteered, okay, and they went into people's houses, and they're winterizing people's houses, because if the fire didn't get the house, now the pipes are going to be bursting because of the cold weather. So all of these plumbers got together, and they went house to house with escorts and stuff, and the firemen were helping so that they could go in and quickly winterize people's homes so that they could basically not have their pipes burst. And my family was one of them. My brother had the forethought. My brother used to be a fireman, and he had the forethought to leave a key for the firefighters if they needed to get into the home so that they didn't have to bash out windows and whatever. So I thought that was pretty smart, because I wouldn't have thought of that. But he hid a key, and they were able to get in and get everything going. So anyway, that's basically what's happening. So if you think about your own area of your chart, a couple people are saying, oh no, I'm a Virgo rising, or Pluto is in my 4th house of home and family. It depends if it's transiting there or living there, but either way, you always want to make sure that you have good wiring in your home, you have great smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, that you have homeowners insurance, you have enough homeowners insurance, that you have rental insurance, all of those types of things. So that's basically, I wanted to kind of go over that with you guys, because A, lot of people have been asking, but B, it's also a lesson in astrology of how these sort of planets can work. And this is life-changing energy. This Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, Pallas Athena is life-changing energy wherever that cluster is, whether it's in your 4th house of home and family, like I'm talking about with my family, or if it's in your area like of love, or area of finances, or area of children, or area, like whatever area it is. People are having these massive kind of like life lessons right now in that like one department. And again, it's such like a laser beam of energy. It's like this deep dive focus of energy in whatever area that they fall in. And it's such intense energy that we haven't seen this in Capricorn in this way for 2,000 years. So, I mean, that's the thing, like to even wrap your mind around that. It hasn't happened since the days of Babylon, okay? That it was in Capricorn in this way and all this different, kind of stuff, the way that it's all aligned. There was something similar that happened during 1771. Okay, but that's, still 500 years ago. So, I mean, it's really, really crazy. So, I'm not trying to scare people. I'm just saying that this is basically the deal. Like, this is life-changing stuff. And what I'm reading about, what people are coming to me in sessions about, what I'm talking about a lot is people are getting fatigued. People are getting fatigued with all of this stuff. COVID and the government and political and their own personal lessons, in all of this deep dive that we're taking. But I always say our souls are badasses if we incarnated in the middle of all of this craziness. I mean, we have to have very spiritually strong souls. And people are getting tired. This is the point. It's almost like the point in the marathon where it's like, okay, there's a rock in my shoe right now. I am like done. I haven't had any water. I haven't gone to the potty. And like you're running this race and running this marathon and everybody's tired. And I'm telling people, please don't give up. I mean, the universe is kind of throwing this at us and throwing this at us and throwing this at us. And I hate to say it's not even going to like really stop until we get over the hump into 2021. And I'm not saying it's stopping completely. It's just we're going to get out of this grinding kind of energy, because that's the way this astrology is. It's very grinding. You know how I keep saying there's the 3 big planets in Capricorn, really 4 if you count Pallas Athena. And the planets are just hitting it and then hitting it again and then going and hitting it again. And it's grinding us. So the sun was doing that, okay? Then Mercury did it, and then Mercury did it, and then Mercury did it, and Mars is doing it. It's the same thing. Mars is retrograde, going forward, going backward. It's just a lot, and it's grinding on all the planets in Capricorn. So it really is so imperative to know where the planets are currently transiting in the Capricorn arena of your chart. And that basically then can pinpoint exactly sort of where you're feeling your personal energy, because I feel like it's a lot, and we're all getting worked out, and it's more to come. So this fatigue that I'm talking about, I don't want you guys giving up. When people are calling me, they're like, this is just so hard and I can't, do this and this and this, and I'm exhausted and I can't keep going. You can keep going. You can, and you will. You can keep going, I'm telling you, because this is what we all have to do. And this is not the time to get lax. That's the thing. Everybody's starting to like take chances, get lax, go on trips and, go with no mask and, not washing our hands and not being as diligent as we were in the beginning of all the like the stuff. But this is the time to like keep going, because we're spiritually badasses. If we chose on some soul level to come in and to do this stuff, this business, we had to have been, okay? And there are souls that are not making it. And it's breaking my heart because, people are ODing. Suicide is up across the country and across the world. And all kinds of things are happening like that, where people are saying, this is too much for me. And that's why I want to give you guys the message. It's not, there's an end to this. There truly is an end to this, but we're just not there yet. We have more to go in the middle of all of this muck and life lessons and strife and all of that stuff. So I want you guys all to continue your diligence, your journey, being safe, and, practicing that safety, practicing, wearing your protective, okay, like I do with all my stones, my protective stones, wearing your grounding, okay, getting into your grounding practices, all that kind of stuff, because it's a lot. Okay, so I went on a little tangent there. I wanted to give you guys an update, but I also wanted to just remind you that this is, it's a lot of energy, and be safe and have, with yourselves. Give yourselves a moment. If you have to cry, cry. It's okay. I just said this to somebody. Tears never killed anybody. It's just saline, you know. They put saline in IV bags and they give it to you when you need good health. So let it out. Let the pressure relief valve go off. Take a hike outside, get some fresh air, do some kind of thing, connect with a friend. All that kind of stuff is good stuff to do. Speaking of the love, somebody said on here, the love. Oh no. Okay, so Ashley said, this makes me curious about where Pluto might fall on my mom's best friend's chart. She received devastating news about an illness, and she has a special needs daughter. The other day, she thought about giving up completely. You're wondering if I could pull a card for her. Yeah, of course I can. I will do that. I'm going to pull a card. I'm not done my week in the review yet, but I will pull a card for Ashley because I can feel that energy. That's a lot. Oh, I'm so sorry. Man, there's been a lot of respiratory problems. I'm feeling, whoa, I don't know if you saw that, but all these cards just fell out. She's worried about money, honey. Well, you got two cards that fell out with her. Creative expression and money, honey. So good news is, bad news is there's a problem with money. Good news is creative expression means we need to be creative with how she gets help or assistance with this situation with the daughter. I do feel like there is some kind of a situation, a pulmonary situation. It's interesting. There's a lot of pulmonary energy going on, and that makes sense because pulmonary is grief. People are feeling grief right now. So the daughter feels like there's a pulmonary problem. I don't know. I'm getting like a hard feeling. Could be related also to the heart because heart and lungs are together. It's lung cancer. Okay. Yeah. Ashley just commented that it's lung cancer. Yeah. So, and that's what I'm feeling. It's definitely pulmonary. Pulmonary is grief. Oh God, a mass removed from her brain. Okay, we'll say prayers for her. If you feel comfortable, you could put the person's like first name and age or some kind of thing, and we can all send her prayers tonight while we're on. I'm telling you, the power of prayers is amazing. Like, I really feel like my family was helped so much by you guys, and that's why I post things sometimes with asking for prayers, asking for love, asking for Reiki, and all that, because I believe fully in the power of prayers. I will tell you, it's a thing. And I know there was a political thing of like, people say it's a cop out and, do something, don't just pray. But I'll tell you what, prayer, hands down, I feel is very, very important because you're sending energy. And when we all do it collectively, it's like filling up a cup with one drop of water at a time, and then eventually it fills all the way up. So I do feel very strongly that prayers are good, Ashley. So getting back to the financial thing, Ashley, with the friend, so you might want to there might be a GoFundMe kind of a thing, or a fundraiser through creativity, almost like not like a concert, because it's hard to put on concerts right now with COVID, but some kind of a thing like where we will where money will be able to come in through a creative way. Okay, just to let you know. And this might be a kind of a thing where the collective comes through for her. So I hope that helps, Ashley. Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Sarah said it's like sending positive manifestation to one person or space. It's amazing. Yes, it is. And we can all do that. That's the thing. And whether you believe in God, Buddha, Allah, doesn't matter, the universe, it doesn't matter. It's all just that universal, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful life force energy that we can channel. And I think it'll be good. Okay. So Friday, I want to talk about, speaking of love, because Libra is love, Libra's relationships, and Libra's love. Now we're getting into the blue moon, okay? So what is a blue moon? Once in a blue moon, right? We say that. So that's going to be on Halloween, which is kind of a fun thing. All right, so here's the thing. I hate to say this. And, astrologers, and I'll probably even post, oh yeah, blue moon, but really, does it have an astrological significance? Not really. but it is fun, and it is on Halloween. So that is another thing, and we're kind of channeling our sort of Halloweenness. Hey Jeanette, welcome. So basically what this is, it's going to be an 8 degrees Taurus. So the sun is in Scorpio, moon is in Taurus. We've now had 2, full moons this month, and that is called a blue moon. Once in a blue moon is when there's 2 moons that are in 1 month, or if you're 30 days apart. It's a more rare type of blue moon, but so it's kind of confusing, but there's like sort of, in other words, it's a very rare occurrence, or it's like only an occasion that this happens. It's not something that's an everyday thing that you have a blue moon. So that's going to be on Halloween on August 31st at 10:49 a.m. Eastern Time. So at 7:49 a.m. if you're out on the West Coast, and that's going to be 8 degrees Taurus. So if you know where Taurus is in your astrological chart. And we always have to talk about, opposition when the full moon is happening. And so Taurus is opposite of Scorpio. Scorpio is opposite of Taurus. The sun's going to be 8 degrees Scorpio. The moon is going to be 8 degrees Taurus. And so the sun gives the moon the full light, and that's why it's a full moon. So we are going to be harvesting. This is a time of harvest. This is the time of, I'm always talking about planting the seeds on the new moon. Well, we harvest the seeds on the full moon. That's basically how that happens. And so this particular full moon is going to be a little bit anxious, a little bit of an anxiety, because the sun is in Scorpio, is also 8 degrees, is going to be forming an opposition with Uranus, and this particular full moon is going to be conjunct Uranus. Now, what does that mean? Okay, so Uranus is the planet of sudden kind of things. It's called the Great Awakeners, the official nickname. I call it the wild card, or the muse, okay? But Uranus is shocking, unexpected events. Now, oh my God, we've had enough of these shocking, unexpected events, but that's where Taurus, is 8, Uranus is 8 degrees Taurus right now. The moon's gonna be 8 degrees Taurus, and then the sun's gonna be opposing both of those, the moon and Taurus, okay? So unfortunately, we have a shock factor in this particular full moon. This full moon, please hear me, okay? For all my anxious peoples out there, is going to be an anxious full moon. There's no getting around anxiety. When you have Uranus, you're talking about shakeups, unexpected events. There could be an earthquake we'll hear about Friday going into Saturday, maybe even Sunday. We'll hear there's going to be increase of earthquake activity, volcanic activity, possibly tsunami activity, because it's shakeups. It's anything that shakes. So it's spasms, it's tremors, it's heart palpitations, it's migraine headaches, it's seizures, it's anything with the electrical system of the body is Uranus. Now, Taurus is the throat, okay? So it's neck and throat. So it's thyroid issues, strep throat, it's cervical, spinal cord, okay? It's literally the neck. It can be the lowest part of the jaw, okay, like a TMJ kind of a feeling, but it's this whole area of the body is Taurus. Now, Scorpio is the sexual organs, so those are the two sort of kind of areas that are highlighted. So that's going to be this particular full moon. Now, when I said, speaking of love, getting back, I had said the ruler of Taurus is Venus. And the ruler of Libra is also Venus. Venus is the goddess of love and beauty. And we talked a lot about Libra because, Mercury and Venus are going to be going into Libra. Now, on Saturday, we're going to have the full moon in Taurus. And that is definitely, I don't know if you guys can see this. Rose quartz. It's pink. It's pink. There we go. Maybe you can see the pink. And that's the heart chakra. Okay, so let's see. Pink and green are the two energies. Let's see. My family is pressuring me not to do anything, not to end things. Well, that's your decision, Emily. That's your call. I know what Emily's talking about is a relationship, and Emily, you have to feel what's right inside of you, inside of your body, and all of that stuff. And that's the thing. So pink and green are love energies. It's funny. I think I was feeling you just for a second there. Pink and green. And so that's the heart chakra, and we want to be able to literally connect our heart chakras with Mercury, our throat chakra, okay? And Uranus is like, really like kind of like that spinal cord energy. It's not the spinal cord itself, but it's like the electrical of the body. And so we're going to be feeling all of that stuff, okay? With this particular full moon. Now, this is the time to burn or destroy your new moon manifestation list, okay? And you want to get rid of anything that you're purging at that time. So it's a good time to get rid of old love letters, old photographs, old things that you don't want, or things that, you're purging, or things you're getting rid of, or like, anything, even if you want to donate clothing, it's like a good time to purge and get rid of old things. So whenever we're talking about the new moon, the moon, between the new moon and the full moon is where we're manifesting. Once we get to the full moon, then we start to purge and release, purge and release, purge and release. And that's basically, we're manifesting from the new moon to the full moon. So we've been manifesting ever since October 16th to now, October 31st. And then once we hit that full moon time, then we're releasing, we're letting go, because we're losing the light. Just like we're releasing and losing the light, we're releasing and losing things in our life that don't work. So we can always say something like, for instance, if you wanted to gain good health during the new moon to full moon, you would say, I want to gain good health. And then the full moon, maybe you want to lose weight. Okay, so does that make sense? You want to gain something, and then right at that full moon time, you want to start to release, let go, and whatever. And that's how you can do almost like a double-edged manifestation. You can kind of work the moon system there. And Taurus is all about money. So Taurus is about what you can see, hear, feel, or smell. Okay, and Taurus is all about the sort of financial, material, a lot of Taurus tell me they're realists. Scorpios, on the other hand, it's all about the mystery of life. And that's why they're opposites, these two. And that's why when it opposes, again, it's going to be at 10:49 a.m. Eastern time is the peak of it. So we'll feel this on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday, Monday. It kind of goes down from there. So we always feel the full moon, I feel like 24 to 48 hours before it happens. So the 29th, 30th, 31st, you might even be feeling it now. If you're super sensitive, you might be feeling some of this energy now. It feels like it's been a lot, doesn't it? So Emily, let me pull a card for you, girl. And I am going to pull a card, like, what does everybody need to know? And of course, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to post below. Emily, I don't know if you're still on right now, but I want to give you... Oh, Jeanette said, yeah, feeling the energies already. Hans said spinal cord. Oh, great. Hans, you'll be fine, honey. You've been there, done that already. Okay, Hans. So, yeah. So, okay, let me pull a card for Emily. What do you need to know about your decision? What do you need to know about your decision, Miss Emily? Oh, she is on... Ooh, I don't know if you just saw that, but that card just flipped upside down. Stand your ground. I don't know if you can see, but two cards flipped up. And letting go. Girlfriend, I don't think that could have been any more clear. Stand your ground and let go. And they flipped upside down while I was flipping Miss Emily. So I don't know if that could be any more clear. Okay, I don't even need to to explain to you, Emily. I think you got that. Okay, all right. So stand your ground, and letting go. Yeah, this full moon is all about letting go. And Mercury's going to be retrograde still, and Mars is retrograde still. We can't forget that either. Okay, so I'm just reading some of these. Okay, Okay, Andrea, can you pull a card about your job at the airport? I'm going to pull a card for you, girl. Pulling a card. What does Andrea need to know about her job? What does Andrea need to know? There's not a lot of energy with that. Positive expectations. I'll say that. There's not as much energy behind that question, but have positive expectations. I feel like, I don't know why, but I kind of feel like there's a like feeling of like, do I have it or am I doing it or some kind of a thing. There's like a question mark around it, but don't like psych yourself out. Like don't sort of assume it's going to be a negative thing. Assume it's going to be positive expectations. Believe in yourself. Believe in everything that's happening with you. Okay. So I hope that helps. Gail, you have a complicated situation there. I'm just going to tell you that. You have multiple systems of your body that are affected. So she said, Gail, just to let you guys know that are watching it that can't read this, that her body's been swollen since May, throat and belly. They think it's the lymphatic system. Any thought? Whew, there's a lot there. There's a lot there. You're getting kind of the same... You're kind of getting the same card here. Let me see. What can Gail expect about her medical? What does she need to know about the medical? Yeah, well, first of all, visualization. And guess what? You are getting positive expectations just like Andrea got. I had reshuffled it and it came back out again. So visualization and positive expectations. There's a lot going on in your body, Gail, and it would be so much. I'm getting a hit on your thyroid. I'm getting a hit on your kidney. I am getting a hit on the lymphatic, but there's a lot of systems that are going on right now that need to have work. I definitely do feel that for some reason you're retaining water and fluid, but there's it feels like it's like clogged in a way, like your body has like a very sort of slow clogged feeling. So I would need to take some more time with you, but like just doing this online, I feel like maybe that can give you some validation or somewhere to start looking. But they haven't found it. I don't feel like they found like the real sort of source or deal with what is going on with you. And I do feel like you need further testing done because I don't feel that you have like a correct diagnosis. It feels like further investigation if that helps. Jeanette said blocked. Maybe I'm not sure if you're commenting on that, but yeah, it's the body feels like it's clogged. So yeah. Oh, Jeanette. Okay. All right. You're excited about all the shakeup and the change, and it's exciting to make room for new abundance and happiness. Sending love from your new location, Oregon. Oh, Jeanette. I will miss you, but I think that's good that you're in Oregon. And I wonder what's going on with your house out here. I think I have never been there yet, but I just always felt like maybe one day I would head there. I've always had a dream to own a house during close to St. Anne's Shrine, honey. So that's amazing that you made it out to Oregon. Okay. All right, so I'm going to answer another one. Hans said, when will I reconnect with everything? Everything. That's a lot. It's a big word, everything. It's been a while. You feel very empty. Hans, what does Hans need to know about the thing that's most important? So here's the thing, Hans. It's going to keep going. I mean, we have this energy that's going on right now in the world and the universe and all that, but I can see that you're asking specifically about a romantic partner. And it's saying environmental awareness, which is really about connecting with like going for a walk, getting fresh air, being outside, because I feel like you're not grounded when it comes to your romantic partner. I feel like there's this chomping at the bit. When you said, will I reconnect with everything? This is the card that came out, which was romantic partner. So I feel like that's something that you need to get grounded on, and sort of come back in. I will tell you, I am getting a hit in December about something, Hans, with you. Maybe you get to see this romantic partner in December, or you find out some information about this romantic partner, but I feel like December is kind of, I don't want to say make it or break it, but that kind of feels a little bit like there's a decision kind of thing that's coming in December. So maybe you get to see the person in December, who knows, and that would be fun. But you have to get grounded about this. And excuse me, sometimes sometimes I get indigestion before this, because I have other coaching calls I do before this, and I try to eat dinner really fast, and it doesn't really work. So anyway, I feel like you getting grounded, okay, I almost feel like sometimes when you want something so bad, it's almost like pushes it away because the energy is angsty, and it's troubled, and it's like, come on. And then it's like, nope. It pushes it back. So I feel like if you almost just ground into it and go, it's hard to let go when you don't feel neutral about something. It's hard to let go, but manifestation comes when you let go and release. Okay. And just kind of, it's almost like you have to care a lot and then not care, not at all, but it's like, not care mostly, it's kind of an interesting thing. It's like attachment and then detachment. That's the best way that I can share with you, is that's how manifestation goes. And thank you guys for all the hearts and beautiful like and shares. Jeanette, you should sell it to me. I think it looks beautiful, but so anyway, so I'm gonna do one quick card for everybody, so that everybody can get an idea of what to know, what to face, what are we gonna be doing, okay, as we head into the new week. By the way, last week our card was music, and I don't know if any of you guys connect with music, but I got several spirit messages last week through music, so I thought that was pretty cool. So let's see what the card is for this week, for our full moon, for our Mercury Libra stuff, and Venus in Libra, and all the love questions that we've had. What does everybody need to know that's watching this broadcast either now or on the recorded version? What do you need to know this coming week to help? Okay, let me just pull that card. Oh, higher consciousness. Okay, that's a good one. Higher consciousness card. So higher consciousness is like God consciousness, or higher self, or high, like high vibration. And so sometimes we have to fly like birdies above a situation and just kind of sort of take that eagle eye or bird's eye view up out of the muck. When you're in the muck, it can be so like, oh, it's like being in the mud. You have to fly up above it in order to connect with your higher consciousness, your God consciousness, Christ consciousness, some people call it. There's all different names for it. Your higher power, whatever it is, you have to connect with that higher version of yourself. If you're atheist or agnostic, you have to connect with a higher version of yourself. And then look down sort of from that vantage point, because that's really what will help you to remain objective. So this week, remember, is not a lot of objectivity. In fact, we're up close and personal with romance. We're up close and personal with some anxiety. We're up close and personal with intensity. And so it's a little hard to be objective when we're so up and close and personal to it. But that's really, Eckhart Tolle and like a lot of people write about this, Course in Miracles, all that. It's like, what's real? Love is real. All this ego, pain body is bullshit. All this stuff and the stories we tell ourselves, about fear and about, not having faith and all that, that stuff is hard. But when we rise up above it, okay, and we look down like a birdie, we can see that everything is going to be okay, and things are going to work out. Or if they don't work out how we want them to, maybe there's a higher picture here. Again, that God consciousness or whatever, maybe there's a higher, angels want something different for you. And so that's what the message is for this week: higher consciousness, and have that higher consciousness for yourselves. So again, we have to sort of strap our seatbelts in, okay, our spiritual seatbelts, and work on our protection, okay, and work on that fatigue that a lot of us are all kind of feeling right now, and connect with our spirits, connect with our souls, connect with outside, connect with our loved ones, the stuff that's real, the real stuff in life that's gosh, with my family, I was asking my mom, I was like, did you really get everything out of the house? Like, did this show you like what was really important to you and what wasn't? And it was really like, as long as everybody's alive and well and happy, and that's what's important. It's not the stuff. It's not all the bullshit that we surround ourselves with. Even though we think that's so important, we get so like focused on that. Is it really that important? No, it's not. So, all right, you guys, I could keep going, but I'm going to send you all lots and lots of love. Sending you all good vibes for the week. Please continue to send prayers for my family. We're going to send prayers for the Ashley's friend here that was on tonight that just got diagnosed with lung cancer. And if you guys want to work with me one-on-one personally with an astrological session, please feel free to send me a direct message. Better yet, a cell phone text message is wonderful. And I can send you all lots of prayers, lots of healing, and lots of love. Okay, everybody, namaste. Please hang on, tune in, and connect with love. Love is the only thing that's real is love. All right, namaste, everybody.